if you can't run with the thoroughbreds, stay off the mats. Especially this guy right here. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name is George Dennis. I wrestle at Harrison County High School. I'm a 2-time state champion and 3-time finalist.
And, of course, this is your 2024 120-pound review video. We've got several of the breads, as you guys are known, on the review series already. Let's talk about the Harrison County State Championship lineage. Of course, got started off with Roy Gibbs, 1992 130-pound state champion. That video's on the channel. We've talked to Kevin Case, 1996 state champion. Just trying to get Kevin's schedule lined out, but that video is coming, Harrison County fans. 2010 Brandon Barnett, 189 pounds. That video's on the channel. We done Jackson Wells's 24 review video. That video's on the channel as well. We talked to Jackson. We're going to be doing his 25. Now we've got yours. We have your coach, Josh Ashbrook's 2007 state finals video on the channel, and also Eric Dingus, his 1992 review videos on the channel, his state final match against Joey Roby from Caldwell County. Harrison County, Harrison County baseball back in the 90s, 2 or 3, 4, whatever it was, state championships in baseball. The baseball and the wrestling is really what Harrison County's known for.
For sure. And
not just locally, it's across, outside of the actual four-legged thoroughbreds, the wrestling team is known, it feels like it takes 2 hours to weigh you guys in. There's like 1,000. I think the whole school has to wrestle. I don't know, a couple years ago, I don't remember what meet it was. It was like 30 minutes. I was like, Josh, buddy, it was like at a Kings Island seeing one of the rides. Like, how many kids do you have on this team?
I think we've got the only school where the head wrestling coach is the assistant principal, and he walks through the halls constantly recruiting kids. Hey, you want to be on the wrestling team? Okay.
I believe it, because you led right into my next little punchline of, I think Josh, like you said, was going to walk the halls. Hey,
100%.
Do you want detention or do you want to wrestle? Let's go, hit the mats. And the girls team, the Phillies as they're known, they're one of the first programs I can remember getting to officiate, as long as I have, that had more than just 1 or 2 girls on their team before it really became sanctioned. The Phillies had, I don't even know, probably 7 or 8, 9 girls. Could have fielded their own team then, but just wasn't really sanctioned, so I'm glad now they have their opportunity. But George, man, you said you're a 3-time finalist, 2-time state champion. For the people that don't know, what gets you into wrestling, man?
So my dad did combat sports for a long time. He was an MMA fighter, loved jiu-jitsu, and he would constantly see people come in the gym that had a good wrestling base. He watched a lot of MMA, and the wrestlers were the most successful. So he got me into wrestling, and it was really helpful because I had my dad's buddy, Joe Jordan. His son is Barrick Jordan, and Barrick Jordan really helped me a lot. He was #1 in the nation for 2 years. He's wrestling at OU right now.
Wow.
So that really helped me get into it and enjoy it.
Now, for those people that don't know as well, are you originally from Harrison County? Did you move in, or?
No, sir. I'm originally from Winchester. But we met Ashbrook. I wrestled for them in middle school because it's club, and then we moved to Cynthiana. I really like the high school.
I get it. Of course, one of the biggest Michigan fans you'll meet, Patrick McNutt, lives in Cynthiana, good friend of the channel. So Patrick, you and your Wolverines, no, Patrick, my phone is ringing. As soon as he watches this, he's probably going to delete me on Facebook and ban me from everything else. Patrick, is a big Ohio State fan. I had to throw that jab in just because we're buddies. So your 2023 season as a freshman, I got to officiate you a couple times that year, and I hated doing your matches because it was takedown cut, takedown cut, takedown cut. It was like, it was a tech fall before, 30 to 15.
Yeah.
So it was 2, 1, 2, 1. I mean, just as soon as you take somebody down, we need a chance to get my hand up. Boom. I was like, just hold somebody down for a second. And I was like, oh my gosh. So when you come in that was the year of the semi-state, the last year of the semi-state, I should say, coming in, I believe you were ranked number 1 coming in undefeated, correct?
I think they had Roman at 1.
Oh, Valera?
Yeah, because like Roman didn't. He had come into the other season at 2, and then he was returning.
Okay.
So I think they had him at 1 all season.
That makes.
But most people on the forums and from other teams, me and Blevins were the consensus.
I was going to say if that was the top 3. I mean, everybody else was wrestling for 4th down. Was you 3?
Yeah.
Roman Valera, Braden Blevins, Simon Kenton, and of course you. And you're coming in undefeated. You're coming in to the state tournament undefeated, correct?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Now, unfortunately, I guess it depends on what colors. If you're blue and white or you're like a maroon and a yellow, you're either really happy or really kind of sad on that 23 night because the Braden gets you with I believe it was a 7-5 decision there. Braden's video is on the channel. We've done his at the La Rosa's Pizza there right out from Simon Kenton High School.
Yeah.
So thank you to Jeff Everman for getting that set up. Had you wrestled Braden before that?
We wrestled at semi-state. I won 1-0. Or no, it was maybe 2-1 in overtime off of a stall call. So it was a really close match. I got a little bit taste of that. I'd wrestled Jonah before that, so I had like a little bit taste of the Simon Kenton style that I struggled with for like a couple of years. And so leading up to state, that had me a little bit freaked out. Combination of factors and bad performance in the finals combined with one of the luckiest trips I've ever seen. Accidentally stepped on my toe. And like all credit to Braden, that was awesome performance. It was the only offensive points I gave up that year. Four points.
Well, talking about that semi-state, that's one of the, like, if you watch any true crime or podcasts with lawyers or the litigation, is the hallmark of like a good attorney when there's somebody's on the witness stand is to get them to say exactly what you're getting ready to read off of a piece of paper, an evidence or whatever. And you led perfect into what I was going to talk about was wrestling Braden the week before, coming up with the win. Like I said, I believe it was in overtime, correct?
Yeah, it was overtime.
That's what I thought. And the finals, they pulled their GRC last year in the gym. They pulled the bleachers down. I'm sitting right there with my phone filming. The review series had been in for just not even a year when you guys wrestled, and everybody was talking about this match, and it was a close match this time, yada yada yada.
Welcome to George Marshall Clark High School for the 2023 KHSAA State Wrestling Championships presented by UK Healthcare. At this time, let's meet the finalists. At the 106-pound weight class, a freshman from Simon Kenton with a record of 58 and 10, Braden Blevins. A freshman from Harrison County with a record of 42 and 0, George Dennis. At the 285-pound weight class, state runner-up in the 106-pound weight class from Harrison County, George Dennis.
When the match is over, doesn't go the way that you want, what's the mentality coming into the next season?
So it was obviously crushing. It was like for a week, like pondering quitting wrestling, like how good am I actually at wrestling? And then immediately after the state tournament, it was find all of the Northern Kentucky wrestlers and wrestle them and wrestle them and wrestle them at the barn and the woodshed and Spatola's. Wrestle them until you find out what they're doing. And so that was the mentality. I wrestled TJ, Braden, Ethan, Jonah, Landon every single day. As many times as I could find them and wrestle them so I could learn what they were doing. So by the time the next season came around, I was fully prepared to wrestle the NKY guys.
And younger wrestlers, the generation that comes after you leave, today is March 11th, 2025. George has been there on top of the podium twice. He's been in the big dance 3 times as of this filming. You got one more opportunity, of course, in class 26, recruit, or however you want to say that, but the season's been over for just over a week or so, and you're already back on the mats. You're already trying to get more mat time in. So just because the season ends doesn't mean you stop getting better. Doesn't mean you stop going out and pushing yourself, figuring out, okay, yep, you got me. Mr. Policeman, you pulled me over speeding fair and square, you got me. You know, slow down, right? You get beat by somebody from a certain area or has a certain lineage, a certain style, because there are different styles of wrestling. That's just a fact.
Sure.
And do what George did. Go in. You may, get your face smashed. You may get beat. It's off season. Learn from it. Then when the time comes, the lights are bright, the sparks are flying, the steam is shooting up. I'm ready for this moment, right?
100%.
So let's talk about your 2024 season. Of course, you're a sophomore, 120 pounds. You're coming in with a pretty good record. You're coming in, it looks like 25-1, 26-1, I believe.
Yeah,
26-1, yep. That's right. I'm sorry. You start off the state tournament. Unfortunately, Joseph Jaso from St. Xavier had the injury default. Do you remember much about that?
I think we hit heads. It was the last takedown, and I hit a blast double, and it hit his head.
Okay, yeah, and sometimes that happens. I mean, that's wrestling. I hate to say that. Injuries do happen, so just remember that. The second round, you win by a fall over Kurt Fiegel from Wayne County, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. This is one I wanted to talk about because you mentioned his name just a second ago. You win a 7-5 sudden victory, of course, overtime, the first overtime session, over Landon Evans of Rowell. Of course, Landon is 2023 113-pound state champion. You wrestled him, you said in the off-season. I don't want to say you hate to wrestle your friends, but you kind of get to know people, maybe travel with them.
Yep.
But, hey, when the state championship's on the line,
100%.
buddy, we'll be friends tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be like Ben Vessels and Eric Slugans. 2001, they competed against each other. Eric won that match. They were in each other's wedding, or Ben was in Eric's wedding a few years down the road. That's what they was like, hey, listen, we'll be friends later. We will be friends tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to smash your face into this mat. I'm going to do what I have to win. And when it come to that match with Landon, looking at the brackets, did you kind of like, oh man, why can't it be the finals? Or
no, it was really a pretty good thing. I knew that like my weight cut that year was excellent, and that there's only 4 or 5 days between regionals and state, so that was pretty good timing. And then like everyone was talking about brackets, and I just had a feeling that I would have Landon in the quarters, and I told everyone I'm having Landon in the quarters. They're like, how do you know? How do you know? And then it came out. And that was a really good moment. Like I just like a Vision Quest level.
I got you, man.
Like there's the 1 and the 2 seed are gonna wrestle in the quarters. It's in my advantage because it's the first day, and Landon's worried about making weight the second day, maybe looking past me a little bit.
I can.
So it was like everything aligned. I really liked how that bracket turned out.
I can completely understand, and I can speak for the referee side of the house. I've got to officiate the boys 2020, 2025, and the girls in 24, and I can tell you. Of course, the girls, they're a one-day tournament as of this filming. That may increase, but the quarterfinals, that's your best matches.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the quarterfinals, the finals are great. There's always some good matches in the finals, but you want to see some people that are absolutely letting it all hang out is in the quarters, because everybody's looking for that big upset, that quick turn, that big throw, whatever it is. They, as they say in the South, they some wrestling going on there. It's not wrestling. It's RASSLIN.
They said it at HC too.
Yeah, and that's the way it is, man. Is the quarterfinals always has some of the best, and it's the last round of the day.
Everybody's warm.
Everybody's, the last match or the last round. We got the 6th match. Got 2 refs on it. I mean, you could just feel it. It just feels like a big event. But you win a 7-5 decision over Landon in overtime. Had to make you feel good, right?
Yeah, that was by far the best moment as a tournament. It was I think it's the most excited my dad's ever been. Or like lost his composure completely, because it was a real hurdle to beat one of the best wrestlers in Northern Kentucky.
And I was gonna say, man, getting that experience against him. I mean, going up and wrestling him specifically, one of those daggone Northern Kentucky guys, right?
Yeah.
I got you. Now, in the semis, you win a 7-1 decision over Utah Hetty of Union County. Utah goes on to get 4th place.
Yep.
You wrestle Ethan Davis of Grant County in the finals. Now, we have the match video. We're not going to tell you the score here. We're going to watch it along with you. But your second time in the finals, we're here now at the Horse Park. Little bit different situation.
Yep.
Instead of being in a high school gym, this feels like a true state tournament. Bigger venue. Still got the dust everywhere, you know what I mean? Of course, you guys are used to the horse country. I mean,
For sure.
Harrison County,
One mat room.
Bourbon County, Jessamine County, all that, Fayette County, that's horse country. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was not that far of a drive. Did you stay like at your house tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to say that's a big
Advantage.
competitive advantage being able to sleep in your own bed. Take a shower and not having to pack everything, forget something.
Yeah, for
Going
sure.
down in the hotel. Who's got an extra toothbrush? I forgot my toothbrush. Or who's got, deodorant or, just whatever. Just you can focus on the wrestling. And I would say you probably drove to GRC too, didn't you?
Yep.
I was going to say, so, man, Harrison County's got a good spot there. I think even at Frankfort at the Dungeon, they may have been able to commute back and forth because that's not that far of a drive either.
Yep.
So we are going to get our computer set, get some things moved around. We will see you guys in 2024 at the Horse Park. You're looking at what we're looking at. You're seeing Garrett Pickle there stretch on the mat, getting his exercise in. This is the Parade of Champions you're getting ready to watch. We got the Parade of Champions, face-off, match, and medal ceremony. George, man, let's go. As the voice of the state tournament, Dave Dawson, introduces us. Get off the mat, Garrett. And here comes the 120s out from the behind the curtains there, if you will.
I'm a tall joker.
I was going to say you're the tallest one of the bunch. Walking out here instead of walking out at the horse or GRC, just looking at it like, okay, this is the state tournament, right?
Yeah, it's a much bigger important moment, for sure.
That's the way it should be, man. That's every time we do a video at the Dungeon in Frankfurt, I always bring up how awesome it was, and we'll never replicate that, but we do. Well, we'll talk about it in 25-bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself. And this is my expert camera work here, guys, so I'm sitting on the referee's row.
Yeah, leading up to this, I'd already wrestled Ethan twice in finals matches
Okay.
in that season. So this was like after beating Landon, it wasn't exactly a letdown. It was still a really good moment, but I was pretty calm going into the finals. The calmest I've ever been in a finals match.
I got you. There you come at a dead sprint almost. And I got to separate you guys in the back there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now here's the finals video. Looks like you've got Rocky. Is that Rocky?
I think it's bad at the bone. Yeah, it's bad at the bone.
Yep. Rocky Balboa Durham.
Yeah, I knew
And
it.
Ethan, man, he comes right, he's taking it
Comes
to
right
you.
out, comes
You know
right
what I'm
out.
saying? He's
Looking for good slide bys and headlock throws. He almost hit me with a headlock throw at the region finals, so I knew he was going to be gunning for it.
And you got Garrett as the assistant. And this is, for those wondering, this is before the out-of-bound change. This
Yeah.
is before the 3-point takedown and 4-point near fall. So just keep that in the back. And right there, man, a good snap down. I mean, you got to be thinking, okay, Ethan, man, you've come, game on, right?
Yeah.
Having wrestled him before, in season, off season, did you know, like, okay, this is his go-to when he's
It was gonna be the same match. We've wrestled a lot. He's a really, really good training partner. It helped me make a lot of progress. But we've had a lot of matches where it's just best move against best move. I was gonna be looking for my head inside singles to a big lift because I got a little bit of weight advantage on him, and he was gonna be looking for slick side buys, maybe a low single, and a good headlock throw because I drive in a lot.
And you're considerably taller than he is.
Yeah.
I mean, in practice and stuff, was there something like you thinking, okay, if I ever have to wrestle this guy, I know this is, I've got this in my back pocket that he don't know about, or?
No, I didn't have that many trick moves against Ethan. Ethan's a really, really smart, tricky wrestler. So I knew to beat him, it was going to be me holding perfect stance and do what I'm good at. I wasn't exactly going to trick him.
I got you. No, that makes sense, man. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I was mainly looking out for Ethan's tricks because Ethan's one of the smartest wrestlers I've ever met.
Take a sip of water here.
That's a good single. Yeah, he really came to wrestle in this finals match.
Now, I believe Jackson had won the 106, one batch before this. So it had to be good to see your teammate.
Yeah, nerve-wracking.
A lot of guys over the years we've done multiple state champions from different years or whatever, and it's been like a 113 or a 112, 103 back in the day, heavyweight 215, and like, man, I was more nervous watching my partner than I was my teammate.
For sure.
And
yeah.
All right, so he's going to take neutral again. I don't think that surprised you, right?
Not entirely because two matches before I had rode him out on top.
So I was going to say, you don't want to be on top of this guy on top of you. You know what I mean? Especially as long as your legs are as good as you are, you're probably not going to get up.
So you got the head outside single.
I was going to say, right there, you get your takedown.
Yeah, and this is where I knew I had, this is where I really started securing the match because Ethan can't ride me. And I was confident I could hold him down. And as long as I have a lead, Ethan doesn't have big moves from me not being aggressive and hunting the takedowns.
Yeah.
A lot more patient in this match than I was in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Your dad said something there, but I couldn't make it out. The microphone was too...
I think he said something about the hips. Keep the hips flat.
Okay.
Smash the hips.
Looks like about a minute left to go there in the second period. And if you've never got to wrestle in the finals or be on the mat or the floor there for the at the horse park, no matter how big the crowd is, now you of course got hit for stalling on top there. There's a lot of people, but it's quiet, isn't it?
It's really quiet.
It's like kind of scary quiet. It's like
controlled chaos.
It's like all these people are here. You like when you're not on the mat, I guess you just tune it out or whatever. But my 2 times out there, it's been like, man, this is so crazy. What's going? Is my hearing not working? You try to throw a leg in right there, and I'd have to imagine he knew that was coming at some point.
Yeah, good. Trying to go for a figure 4 to lock the hip out.
And Ethan, we're going to be doing your review video, but not really tried a whole lot. I think he's wrestling cautious.
Yeah, he's a naturally smart, cautious wrestler. And then that's just a little bit hard to not wrestle cautious on me because I had a big size advantage and I was going to hit the head inside singles and score on him if he didn't hold perfect stance. So I think his game plan, it was a good game plan, it's worked on me before, is to wait and then wait for me to make a mistake and capitalize on it.
I completely understand. And right here,
this really surprised me.
You took down right here, and you're like, oh, you're in a spot here.
They had to burn the clock out, and then he put a crossbody in and started trying to guillotine me. Surprised me.
Get, I believe, the potentially dangerous call there.
Yep.
Man, it's the state finals. We got to let it all hang out. And when you felt that, it was like, oh, Ethan, what are you doing to me, son?
Yeah, goes for it again. Go flat. Not taking any risks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit.
Mm-hmm.
So either keep walking,
Mm-hmm.
I believe is what they said. And you try like there for like a banana split or a spladle or something, but I was like, I remember watching that. I was like, I don't know if you're going to get that.
I don't think spladles are real. Like I've been hitting them from like really big kids, but I've never been spladled by someone of my own size. I've also never been able to hit a spladle on anybody.
For real?
Yeah, I've never.
Wow.
I'm convinced they don't work. But I watch them happen in real life.
I was going to say, Nick Spatola, man, you got to get with it if you go back to his camp or whatever. So you get your escape there. It's 3-0. Less than a minute to go in the match. I don't want to say you're in coast mode, but are you aware of the clock?
Yeah, 100%.
And aware of the score? Like, okay,
Good slide by.
just look busy, right?
Good slide by. Try to scroll, come in bounds. Yeah.
We're out. We're neutral. So
33 seconds.
good call there by Rock. 33 seconds left to go. He shot in again, but I mean, man, it's got to feel like Andre the Giant on top of him. I mean, as tall as you are.
Big 20. 2. And I had to write him out.
So you get your 2 there. We're still in the 2 mode or 2 era.
Yeah, I like the 3-point takedowns.
I'll say if anybody likes it, it's this guy. Lord, and a couple takedowns, it's over for you. Time. You win by a final score, 5-0, man.
Yeah.
Very smart wrestled match.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't do anything crazy. You didn't put yourself in any danger that you didn't, self-inflicted danger, if you will.
Yeah.
And here's the medal ceremony. And for those that don't know, the Harrison County fan section is like directly as you're looking from this to the left, to the right of the podium.
Yeah, right next to it.
And there's, I believe, Ryan Smith from Johnson getting his 8th place medal. Of course, Ryan was in the finals this past year, 2025, come up a little bit short against Isaac. Not that long of a rest between wrestling the match and winning. So when you're sitting there in the chairs, are you realizing I finally done this? You know what I mean?
A little bit of disbelief. It's like it's a really like unique feeling. All the weight is suddenly off you, so you're a little bit like zoned out, and like in the back of your mind, you've done it. But it's just a lot. It's a lot to process. It takes you hours and hours to process it.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
There's Utah getting his 4th place.
Yeah, especially after losing the year previous, waiting 365 days for another chance.
I get it, man. Believe me. Of course, there was Landon. And I said that about Harrison County because they're right there by when I'm filming this. There's your dad giving you your medal, man. I'll say you could just about step on top of that as long as your legs are.
Yeah,
it's one big step.
A lot of adrenaline. It would have fallen down.
And you get your state championship sign in your bracket. And I believe the Harrison County crowd, they're the ones that filled the brackets in. Yep. So kind of cool. And that's where the 2024 video ends as far as your state finals match. So I'm sure you've probably watched it, 65 million times between now and then. When you watch it, I ask everybody this question because different kind of answers. People's kind of made the joke about a couple of the taglines, but everybody has a different answer. and that's one of the hallmarks of the series, is getting everybody's kind of baseline reaction on things. Does it play out, watching it differently than it is up here, or is it the same, or does it last longer in your head than what it does on video? Or
I think definitely the finals match looks more dominant than it felt. There was like a big nervous thing because didn't want a repeat of the year previous. There's like a lot of pressure to succeed. I think the medal ceremony is super similar. I think it captures what I felt. And in the Parade of Champions, I don't think any kind of video can do justice to like the feeling of walking out with all of your buddies, everybody you've ever wrestled in Kentucky, and all the fans.
All right, man, I get it. And like I said, it was a great performance. Didn't have to be flashy, didn't need to be flashy, didn't need to hit the spinning moss-covered three-handled family Gredunzel, as Chris Jericho famously said on an episode of Monday Night Nitro back probably before you were born in like 1997. I use that phrase all the time. Everybody asks, what is that? Chris Jericho said it. It was one of the best, as an impressionable 13-year-old, that was very funny back to me whenever I was, wrestling. Professional wrestling was the big thing, so I use that phrase all the time. Everybody asks me what it is. That's where it's from, is Chris Jericho. I have no idea what it is. It's just funny to say.
I love Chris Jericho. I love wrestling.
Oh yeah, dude, come on. The Jerichoholics, what we even doing? You imagine being in middle school, having the NWO, DX, The Rock, Stone Cold, all we had both.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, it was the perfect 12, 13, 14-year-old age. I mean, and it really shaped a lot of my personality today. So with the review series, the way I kind of interview people, the Bobby the Brain lines.
I say you just made the list at least one time a week.
I get it. I completely get it, man. And it's crazy how those two can mesh if the right person does it. We don't want too much of one, not enough of the other. Yeah. That's part of the charm of the series, I think. So, George, man, we have one more as of this filming. Like I said, you're still in school as of this filming. We got one more in this session to review, and I know a lot of people are interested in that 2025 state finals video, so we're going to wrap this one up here. We will see you in 2025.
Mr. Green,
go ahead.
Sorry, just to mention one more thing. I didn't realize until this year, but someone mentioned recently this podium. There's 5 finalists and 4 champions from last year.
Really?
From this tournament.
Wow.
This tournament had 5 finalists and 4 champions.
So what? Ryan?
Landon was already a state champ and a finalist this year. Ryan was a finalist this year. I'm a state champion in 2025. Corbin Nance is a state champion in 2025, and Ethan Davis is a state champion in 2025.
Well, you just gave me a potential trivia question in the years to come. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know. For real, I never would have put 2 and 2 together there, man. So that's a great little tidbit, man. For real, I had no idea. I'm glad you said that. All right, now we're going to wrap it up. Now you guys can find us in 2025.